Hello, everybody. What's up? It is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again with a live stream. Yes. Much love to the African superstar family, all of you guys supporting the platform in one way or another. The recent update is we collected our third music award. I know you see it back there. Hello. Yes. So apparently, there's been some kind of I don't know, some type of challenges with the South African program in regards to it taking place. We had the original rain date of the 21st of October. And as that is just a few weeks away, the organizers contacted me a few days ago and hand delivered our third music award. So we did actually win our category in South Africa. So I would have been hitting the red carpet in Johannesburg, but the good news is we still collected it. So I just want to thank the African Superstar family yet again for your nominations, for all your participation, for streaming the music. This is our third award of the year. So if you have not yet heard my music and you don't know what's going on, don't be the last one to find out. Your girl is an international award winning artist. Big shout outs to the family. Much love to any members only coming in the room with the circle next to their name. Yes. And obviously the lovers of the African Superstar Music Project making it happen. What's up, guys? Big shout outs. ATM Tim is the first one in the building. If you come in the room, please make sure you like the stream. Please make sure you're a part of this discussion. So earlier, I chanced on a live stream over on Dynasty's platform. Search for Huru. It was like deja vu. It was like old times. Obviously, in my beginning days here on YouTube, I used to go to his channel a lot, and I was on the panel a lot. And I saw some of the family members over there and all of that. And this was one of the topics that kind of came up in some of the things I was sharing on his platform. What's up, guys? Zoo and Shayna. Hi, sweetie. Good to see you again. Mr. Isaac Wren. Hi, family. Please make sure if you're in the building that you like the stream. This topic, this was something that I saw in the comment section, which was, I assume it was a Black American saying, so my advice would be for Black Americans to integrate on the continent. And I kind of want to delve a little bit deeper into that. I mean, I think in 2023, guys, we can't ever assume that people share certain mentalities, and we can't assume that people know where we're coming from. So I want to elaborate on my thoughts on the matter. What's up, guys? Hello. Please do the necessary, hit the likes. Now, I would actually call myself, it's a somewhat success story here on the continent. I'm someone who migrated to Ghana 3 years ago, and I've had minimal, situations. Obviously, things happen. You go through the ups and downs. That's just life. But I have not had some of the colossal failures that some of my peers have had. And I really attribute that to the fact that I have made a concerted effort to integrate with Ghanaians, to understand my new home, to, learn about my new home, to kind of be a participant. And I would just think that this would be, second nature to any other diasporans that are coming here. I mean, has anybody in the room ever done, we have 11 of you so far, have anybody in this room ever done either a study abroad program or a foreign exchange student program? If you have done either of those, let me see a number one. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. If you have ever studied abroad, or if you have ever done a foreign exchange student program, let me see a number one. If you have ever done any of these things, if you have ever, done like a semester abroad or whatever, I know some of the students that I went to school with in Columbus that were like language majors. They were studying a language as their career, translating, whatever. they would do what's called language immersion programs. Okay. And I've been told, and I definitely can attest, that the best way to learn about a particular place, a culture, or a language is to immerse yourself in that place. I don't care how much you try to acclimate yourself in foreign settings, there's nothing like being in the place. Some of you guys would count yourself Afrocentric. You would call yourself Pan-Africans. Okay, you would say that you're, B1 all day. Okay, but if that's the case, you need to be versed on the things you talk about. If you're pro-Africa and you're like, Kemet, and you're RBG and you're Marcus Garvey and you're Kwame Nkrumah, you're an enthusiast, and it only makes sense that you will acclimate yourself and get familiar with that environment that you so claim to be a part of and that you have an interest. With that being said, all right, in my personal opinion, integration is the way forward for the diaspora when coming here. One of the biggest complaints that, Black Americans have, I would say overall with Africans, continentals, and African migrants is, they think they're better than us. They don't, kind of mix with us and all of that. When diasporans are concerned about coming to the continent, they're concerned about, I don't know anybody, and do they like me? Are they going to treat me well? And these kind of things. Some of this can be broken down the more familiarity you have with the people. If you choose to come and be living here, but you segment yourself out, you will always be a foreigner. Okay? You'll never be abreast of what's going on. You'll never understand the conversations. You'll never be familiar with the food or the music. You'll always be a foreigner. The more you integrate in and learn about your new environment, the better off you will be. The more you will feel connected. The more you will feel abreast of what is going on. I absolutely believe that, yes, diasporans, you don't have anything to lose. It's not as if you can't be a part of your community and still have, your identity as a Western person. You can still obviously make your contributions as a Black American, a Black British. You can still have that part of you. It's not saying that when you start integrating into your new environment, that's going to like subtract from your Americanness or whatever. Those identities can peacefully coexist. And secondly, I would say it's really in your best interest because you need to know what's going on around you. And the hypocrisy of Western Blacks is that when they go to other developed nations, rather, they don't have no problem picking those languages up, huh? They don't have no problem learning Chinese, learning German, learning French, okay? Intermarrying and all of that. They don't have no problem with that. But somehow when they come to Africa, there's a big question mark in their head about whether or not they should integrate. Do you realize that this is how, and I'm not, excuse the parallel, but this is how, for instance, other nations begin to put their footprint in new countries. Okay? They usually get in with, a prominent community. Maybe the politicians, maybe the chiefs, maybe somebody. Shout out to all the ladies in the room. We have 17 of you here. I know we have some ladies. Ladies, have you ever been to the hair store? You go to, maybe it's a Chinese store, maybe it's Vietnamese, some kind of Asian, whatever. And you see that Black girl working in there. I like to call her the liaison, because the other people, maybe they don't even speak English or whatever. So when you come in there and you're like, oh, I need the, mane and tail shampoo, I need the cocoa butter, I need the do-rag, they gon' present you that black liaison to help you find what you need. Okay? Other foreigners know how to get their footprint in, make alliances, make friends, familiarize themselves. You have other foreign groups coming here. They're on YouTube. I actually hate it. I hate it, to be honest. I see, because these people will go viral, and it'll be a white person speaking Tree. It'll be a white person speaking Yoruba or Swahili. And it's just such a fascination that this white person has learned our local languages. Yet members of the diaspora are questioning if it's necessary, if they want to. You see, this lack of community building among our people is a huge deficit. Logic will tell you when you get into a new environment that you need to educate yourself on that environment. It's common sense. Do we have any military folks in the room? Military folks, let me see a number 2. Any veterans in the building? Any active duty or whatever? If you were on the, in enemy terrains and all that, all right, you get into an unfamiliar place. They've deployed you over in the Middle East. Now you about to go to Israel. You know what I'm saying? You done got sent to Ukraine or whatever. Okay. You don't know that place. You don't know anything about that place. You don't speak the language. You don't know anything. I'm not in the service, but I'm pretty sure when you're heading into lands you've never been to, they do some kind of briefing. They show you some kind of information about where you're headed. Oh, this is a mountainous place. Oh, there might be mines here. Okay, well, this is a tropical climate. Okay, they're going to ready you for that environment. Hello? What do you people think I come here to do this talking for? Do you think I come here because it strengthens my vocal cords? No. I'm trying to ready you for what? Your new terrain. Giving you some tips that have worked for me. And I can't speak for, the vast majority of people. One of the main reasons I provide this resource is because this is a resource that I myself appreciate. Yes. When I was preparing to migrate, this is what I wanted. This is what I was looking for. Okay. Tangible information, practical information. My platform's not one for all these erroneous, back and forth panels and, loose talking and useless dialogue. Okay. I'm always going to come with some type of solutions. I'm always going to come with some tangible stuff. You guys can ask me questions, whatever, to ready you for the terrain. This lack of unity among our people is a huge deficit. It's the reason why so many people have successfully divided and conquered our people, because we just can't get on one accord. We don't understand what it means. Okay? I want to state effectively for the record, if you are a Black American and you move to Africa and you begin to learn about your new environment, maybe learn the language, start eating the local food, it does not reduce at all your origins potentially. It's not like, let me tell you something. I've now been living abroad since 2017. I would say for my own, observation, my American accent is like virtually the way it was when I left. I do have a Ghanaian accent when I'm, obviously when I'm talking to my people, it comes out. And, that's cool. But people that don't know me, immediately when they speak to me, will say, oh, you're from the States. Hello? I don't know where maybe this fear of losing, and I mean, that's a whole nother discussion about why we're clinging on to this colonizer connection. That's a different conversation for another day. I don't actually like being affiliated with the West. What a lot of you guys don't know back in America is being a Black American in the international community. It's not really, people have very low expectations of us, thanks to the media that perpetuates us to people that have never seen and interacted with us, all this ghetto, ratchet, hood, violence and all this garbage, all these entertainers and all this stuff. They, in effect, become a representation of us around the world. So people have a very low connotation of Black Americans. So, I'm not sure, maybe it's like detachment fears or something. I don't know. The fact you go into the international community, guys, does not reduce your foreign whatever. Some of you guys that live in America, live in the UK, you've met foreigners. You've met that quirky Jamaican who's been living in the UK for 40 years. His patois is just as potent as it was when he was in Jamaica. You've met that Ghanaian that's been living in the US for 30 years, 40 years. That Haitian or that Italian. And I'm telling you, so the fact that you are removed from your Western setting does not take away who you are, in effect. But I would say it's very important to integrate. Big shout out to the family. I'm going to come through and get through some of these comments. Make sure you like the stream. Don't forget to support the stream. Hello. I don't come all the time. So when I do, make sure you show your love if you're enjoying this conversation. Okay. I absolutely think that it is important that we integrate on the continent if we want to be successful. There's so much that we don't know about the continent. We have deliberately been miseducated and the history just completely omitted. How exactly are we supposed to learn that if we don't get involved? How also are we supposed to break down communication barriers between us and the Continentals when we're not interacting with them? The stereotypes will just continue to abound because we're not dispelling them, because we're not interacting. Matter of fact, we're coming and maybe even segregating ourselves on the continent, which is insane because, like I said, these other foreigners have that liaison. Okay, they've gone out to the villages and made friends with the chiefs. I know a couple years ago, I remember an article of a Chinese man who had gotten installed as a chief. Big shout out. Janelle, thank you so much for that super chat, sweetheart. I appreciate you always holding me down, always showing love. The first one out of 23 people in the room. Much love to Janelle. Big shout out to you. I remember a couple years ago here in Ghana, it was before I actually moved here. There was, these pictures, they went viral of this Chinese man. He was all dressed in kente cloth. He's gone out to this, remote village, and essentially how you can, become a chief or a queen in some instances, a prince, is based on development. So if you contribute maybe a school, or you do some roads, or you do something in a locality, the reciprocation of that will be they'll give you a title or an honor. So this Chinese man had gone out to this village and he had invested in the village. And as a return, they crowned, they gave him the kente cloth and they installed him and gave him an official title. Now, people that don't know how this works was up in arms. Oh my God, how is this Chinese man getting installed in all this stuff? Now, to the rest of us, it's like, okay, he's invested in that area. These are the things that I would think actually the diaspora would be very interested to do when they come back. If they're serious, they're going to want to plug in. Duh. You guys know my friend Dinah Samir. Well, when he went and got plugged in Nigeria, he became a prince. When he went to Sierra Leone and got plugged in Sierra Leone, he got citizenship. How are you supposed to do that if you're not plugging in? I can tell you definitively, the African superstar music If I wasn't plugged in, it won't be popping. That is where some of you are failing. You're coming to the continent, you want to roll with other diasporans. It's your comfort zone. You know, you feel familiar with them. But guess what, guys? It's not the advantage. You're not giving yourself the competitive edge. Okay? How are you supposed to know this terrain? Those of you guys that want to start business, do you understand the demographics of the place where you're living? You want to come here and you want to open a Subway sandwich shop. Okay, you haven't seemed to notice that there's not one Subway here in Ghana. You come set up your Subway shop because, hey, where you came from in New York or London, where you came from in Columbus or Miami, that local Subway shop is popping. So you just pick up and bring your business the way you operated it in the West. You just set up shop over here. Well, you go out of business because you don't even know that sandwiches is not a popular cuisine here in Ghana. Okay? People eat more rice, they eat meat, they eat, local food, plantain, those kind of things. It's called market research, guys. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I have a solid track record of the things I'm telling you. This is how I have moved. This is why I experienced success on the continent. This is how I was able to plug into the Ghanaian network that is global. It's as simple as me calling a friend or making a Facebook post. Hey guys, I'm coming to Paris. Hey, I'm in South Africa. I'm going to Frankfurt. This is all true talk. That's what I did when I went to Paris, when I went to Frankfurt, when I went to South Africa. I connected with with Ghanaians everywhere. It's a network. And we, those of us that want our success here on the continent, okay, we're here to build a new life. We're here to educate ourselves about the history, because I can't speak for y'all, but I don't like the fact that things have been omitted from me. I have a real grievance with that. That's one of the things that I'm so passionate about is locating the information that was held from me. I understand the reason that information was held from me was because that was vital and important information. Huh? You're growing up in America and they're not teaching you anything about the continent of your origin. And you gonna roll with that? And even when you're here on the soil, you still don't want to find out? Huh? You don't want to understand. Those of you guys that feel like, you want to contribute to the continent. Maybe you want to help solve some problems that you see. Maybe you're interested in the youth. You're interested in infrastructure. You're interested in education. Hello. It's very important for you to plug into the place so you understand how they move. Because you don't want to be coming here and disrespecting people and making enemies with people and breaking cultural norms out of your ignorance. Logic will tell you, I need to get plugged into this place. I need to find the mover and shakers. I need to understand how this thing works. I need to find what they have been hiding from me. Why didn't they want me to come to Africa? Do you folks ask yourself that? Do you ask yourself, why didn't they want me to come to Africa? What's over there? Big shout out to the African Superstar family. All right, let's go on back to the top. Hi, guys. It's the one and only African Superstar. Should Black Americans integrate on the continent? I mean, I think it's a completely, obvious answer, but I felt that I should articulate it for maybe people that have not, thought about it, or they just don't, maybe they were confused about it. Absolutely. It's going to give you the competitive edge that you need. Migration is hard. For those of you guys that have not ever migrated or are not international travelers, or you haven't spent a significant time away from home, it can be a massive culture shock. You want to give yourself the tools of success. You want to give yourself the tools of longevity. Okay? Picking up and moving, shipping your things, immigration, plane tickets, all this stuff is expensive. Okay, moving abroad, in effect, is an investment. You want to make sure that you're getting the best, the best out of what you're putting in. If you do not prepare yourself, there's a high probability of failure and a lack of longevity. Period. You don't got to argue with me because some of you guys are so argumentative. Huh? So difficult, so combative, so opinionated. Okay, don't argue with me. Go take a look at the dozens. I know dozens. There's probably hundreds of diasporans that have not had the longevity on the continent. Examine why they haven't had it. Examine why. Go look in some of these migration groups on Facebook. See the type of questions they're asking. Those of us that have been here, we know, oops, another one bites the dust. You're not going to make it because you were not prepared. Okay? Such things as, oh, I'm planning on coming to Ghana next week. Does anybody know about the visa process? Not going to make it, fam. You may not even get the visa before your plane ticket is supposed to go. Hi, I got to Ghana last night. I'm in an Airbnb right now. I need a place to live. Woo. This kind of stuff, and again, if you were going to one of these developed nations, you wouldn't put yourself in that situation. If you were going to Germany, I got a girlfriend, my girlfriend, Nicola. And I remember, she was preparing to go to Portugal. And before she went to Portugal, she was doing that Rosetta Stone language course to get the basics in Portuguese. I thought to myself, yeah, that's how a lot of Westerners, that's their mind. They're going to be watching YouTube. They're going to be getting up on the culture. They might read some books. They might do a pre-travel, whatever. When we come to Africa, do we think, are we going to get it by osmosis? Okay, I'm here in Africa now. So now I'm just going to soak it up. All the heritage is just going to go through my veins. Come on, guys. It's 2023. Please do better. All right. Shout out to the family. Let's go. What's up? We got ATM Tim in the building. And Zoo and Shayna. Hi, sweetie. Good to see you. Mr. Isaac Wren. Miss Susan Gay. Big shout out to the family. Please make sure you hit the likes if you're enjoying this discourse. Please show your love in a tangible way. Hit the likes. Add some comments. Send some support. That's how we do it. Yes. Big shout out to the African Superstar family in the building. Miss Janelle Richardson is with us. Big shout outs. What's up? Nia Moo says, an obvious question. Why would a Black person move to Africa and isolate himself or herself? I think in some cases, some people that are coming, again, they're not travelers. All right. They have not, they're not accustomed to kind of venturing out and exploring and or solo traveling and things like that. Maybe, there are some people that have literally picked up and came to Africa. That's their first international trip. That's their first African nation, and they don't know. And then obviously you get the comfort zone happening, so let's say you move. I know, for instance, here in Ghana, in Pram Pram, that's one of kind of the retirement communities of Black Americans. There's a lot of them in Pram Pram. I know in Cape Coast, there's another, settlement. I know, I think Bomani was doing some kind of, settlement. I'm not too sure about him, but, there's pockets of where they are. I know there's a Jamaican village. And so if you go into one of those, you get accustomed, you get familiar, and you're with maybe other diasporans in that area. That's cool, but again, I think it's a recipe for disaster. If for instance, exploring the nation is just like, it's a little uncomfortable for you, you can do it gradually, but I really, really firmly believe that you should be interested in learning about your new home. Otherwise, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. You know, if you just want to stay in your little pocket. And people can live like that. And they can literally be living here in Ghana 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they have no more knowledge about the place than they had when they arrived, because they just kind of hold up in their space. Big shout outs to the family. Yes, this is our new award. I love it. It's so cute, isn't it? The little DJ headphones. So this is the Promising Artist of the Year 2023 from South Africa. Can you guys see that? South Africa, see? Yes. So big shout outs to the African superstar family. We didn't get to hit the red carpet, but the award is still lit and still nice. Yes. But yeah, so now we're having 3 international awards in the building. Janelle says, I want to come and I won't come and isolate myself. I know I have to open myself up even though I'm an introvert. Yes, you do. And you know, as we get older, we have less networks, to be honest, which means we have to put ourselves out there. When you're young, you know, maybe you're going to school, maybe you're going to various social events, parties, and all that stuff where you mix and mingle with people you don't know. When you're a bit older, you know, your cycle kind of gets routine. Maybe you go to work. If you aren't working here, you don't even go to work. You know, I encourage you to kind of find some things to get involved in. You know, I got a local gym here. Some of you guys are going to go to church or find a mosque. You know, I have a salon, you know, doing things that's going to kind of get you acclimated with your new environment, you know. So it's absolutely important. Big shout outs. Nee says, if you want to be isolated, then stay where you are. No need to move. I mean, after all, for real, like, what's the point in going through all that and coming over here? Seriously. I mean, that's a very good question. If you are moving to a new country and you don't want to get involved with the new country, then why the hell did you do all that? You'd have been better off just staying where you were in your particular comfort zone, your familiarity. Why are you going to waste all that money to come be in a new place that you're not interested in? You know, and one of the reasons I always promote you guys to come visit is because it's not one size fits all. You know, for me, I'm here in Ghana, but, you know, we have other people. We got Matrell on a mission in Egypt. We got Shoshana down in Uganda. Okay. We got, you know, people all across Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria. You know, I mean, the possibilities are endless. What works for one person may not work for all of us. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I know, hey, for some of you guys, you can't hack it in Ghana. Ghana's not your cup of tea. You know, it's too expensive and you feel like it's small and the heat is too much and the food's too spicy. Well, I get it. That's fine. Go find your zone. There's a lot of options across the continent. You know, there's a lot of options. Maybe you're Muslim. Maybe you speak French. You know, maybe you want to live in right on the sea, the tropical. You don't want to be in central. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be by the desert. You want to be. There's a lot of, you know, just get it your way, you know, but that's going to require what? Research for you to pinpoint what's working for you and what's not. Big shout outs to me on that. Necromature, yes, it's good to see you in the building. What's up, Diane? Yes, you know, I've been actually thinking they offer some courses at the University of Ghana. There are some online courses. See the little advert sometimes. Now that I'm talking about this, it might start popping up on your phone, Diane. But yes, there are options for, you know, you can also get a private tutor, you know, if you're very serious about it. There's some lessons here on YouTube. I just feel like it's, you know, it's going to be something that really, really helps members of the diaspora to communicate. You know, those of us growing up in America, primarily, we are not bilingual. You know what I mean? They do that disservice for us. Translating, it's also business, you know, because I can tell you right now, you know, this market on the continent is exploding. And what that requires eventually is going to be like translation services. things like that. When the customer service call centers get here and all that kind of thing, people that can translate, so it's an opportunity. So I would say definitely, equip yourself with that stuff. Big shout outs to the family. Nee says the mass migration of Black people from the West moving to Africa is a new phenomenon. Absolutely, which means it's a new horizon. It's a new territory. Shout out to any hip hop head. Y'all know Clips. It's a new day. Hot damn. Wanna want that money. Ooh. What's up, Sarah C. Etisain? Hey, yeah. Etisain is how you say hello in Tree. And yeah means I'm fine and you. Or you can say miho ye, which means I am fine. Yes, big shout outs to the African superstar family. Please make sure you guys get the lights up. Nee says he saw Indian promoting Ghana. I really hate it. I see it all the time. I see these, they like wearing our traditional wear and all that stuff. And I think to myself, man, these real true foreigners are, they embrace our culture. They enjoy our food, our music and everything, but we'll be hesitating about getting involved. I don't understand. And again, if you are someone who genuinely feels like, okay, I have been restricted from knowledge about Africa, then you will be hungry to know what you can know and learn. I take great pride in that I know things, and I think you guys take great pride in knowing that I know things, or that you can ask me questions and things like that. Yeah, because I'm getting abreast. What if I came here and I'm like, hey guys, I know I've been here 3 years, but I don't know anything more than the day I stepped foot here in Ghana. You guys wouldn't really, how could I be an authority talking about what I talk about when I don't even know what's going on? Big shout outs to the African superstar family. What's up, Michael Jackson? Big shout outs. Janelle says it's crazy to come to a new land and become separated and don't want to be around people, but get upset when get charged double at the market. Sarah says, unfortunately, living isolated is encouraged in America. Gated communities are a prime example. It's part of the American culture to isolate yourself from the have-nots. Exactly. And these are the things that we have been socialized around. These are some of the nasty parts of our culture, as Black Americans. We've been immersed in that culture. We've grown up and been educated there. So we have some of their ways and some of their outlook. You come in here to the continent, it's communal. You know what I mean? It's communal. And that means if you really want to have success, you got to understand how the community works. And if you really want an advantage, then you're going to participate. And it's such a benefit, to be honest with you. I love being a part of the community here in Ghana. And I don't think, in the West, depression and loneliness is a huge issue. It's not like that here because we are involved with each other. You know what I'm saying? People are going to say hello to you. People are going to, ask you, have you eaten, and all these kind of things that in some cases they even annoy the Westerners when they get here. Cause it's like, well, why are you asking me this? And why are you worried about that? But it's a concern, kind of mechanism. And I think it's quite nice, and we have to recalibrate ourselves as well to understand some of these cultural things that we have missed, how things work here, how the family works and how the traditions and what things mean and the symbolisms and what names mean. We've grown up in a completely different environment where some of that stuff's not important or we don't have that knowledge, So yes, you are correct with that. Big shout outs. Yes, yes, yes. Diane, me too. I love the local food here in Ghana. Like, I love it. I eat it most days. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this guy's talking about. Big shout out. Zoo and Shayna says folks are holding on tight to it. Big shout outs. Thank you so much for the compliment, Mr. Witherspoon. I see you there. And much love again to Janelle on that super chat. Yes, yes, yes. What's up, Dr. Sherry? I see you in the building. Diane's making recipes, sharing that. Yes, so thanks, Janelle. Big shout outs to you. Much love to you. Thank you. I always love the kind and encouraging words. Yeah, it's, you know, I want my people to win. Okay. I'm a lover of my people. Okay. I want them to win. Actually, I'm a winner. And it's annoying to me to see my peers lose. You know, I want them also to win. I want them to take their place on their pedestal where they belong and stop living these mediocre lives and stop accepting this BS narrative that they've given us. So I'm going to come here and talk practical, you know, things that can help you have success, because I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't come here to Ghana to lose. I made a vlog couple weeks ago. I did not come here to lose. I came here to reclaim my high standing in life. You know, when I was living in America and they would be mistreating me, and also in the UK, people would be talking down to me, I would just be thinking, I don't belong here. There's no way I belong here, because this is not how you're treated when you belong. I grew up in a household where I have been highly celebrated like my whole life. Okay, so that was a norm for me. So when I got out into the world, I was just like, what's wrong with these people? And ironically, when I came to Ghana, things got back on track. And I said, hell yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. You know, but I know, unfortunately, you know, that kind of corrosive environment has warped a lot of my peers, a lot of their mind, and they have begun to accept this mediocre life, you know, these standards, this subpar living, you know, and it's crazy. So I'm like, hey, I don't want you to go through all the movements and come into Africa and fail yet again. If we fail in the West, we can actually say we've been hindered, right? Big shout out to African Superstar family. Yes, so who sent me some love in the room? Thank you, Nakur Mature. In the West, we can actually say, yeah, I was held back. You know, the white man was holding me back. What excuse you going to use here on the continent? Sorry, fam, that's all you. That's all you when you get here and you fail. I mean, I'm just being honest. Because here, you know, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have less restrictions in your way. You know, you will have maybe some kind of like infrastructure things that go on that it's like, okay, I got to figure these things out. Like, I know, for instance, when I came to Ghana and some other content creators, you know, they were worried about their Wi-Fi, worried about consistent power, and, you know, trying to navigate these things. You know, those are kind of along the lines of the problems that you're going to have. Not the white man's on my neck, won't let me be great, got passed up for this promotion, people trying to smear campaign me, and, you know, nah, you're not going to encounter those kind of things, which means that the gates are open for success. The gates are open for escalation, but it just depends on whether or not you're going to be the one to recognize an opportunity and capitalize on that opportunity. You know, I can go straight to the moon because I'm someone who's ambitious, someone who's plugged in, someone who's always trying to acclimate herself to her surroundings. I'm a real winner. I'm a go-getter. When I say the white man was trying to hold me back, it was the truth. Okay, I wasn't sitting down and doing nothing with my life and getting nowhere. I was working avidly hard and hitting the glass ceiling. Now that I'm here in Africa, my words are ringing true because I don't have that same glass ceiling. We have problems here. Okay, we got problems here. But I feel like, okay, these problems, I can apply some, some methodology and solve the problems, overcome the problems, lessen the problems, but that's the winner mentality. That's the winner mentality. Those of you guys that have been losing in the West and it really was the white man holding you back, you should come over here and excel. Hello. I got this saying, if you got a point to prove, you better prove it. So when I said I was coming to the continent to do this and do that, that's what I got to do. That's the burden of proof. Big shout out to the African superstar family in the building. Yes, I see you guys in the room. Thank you guys so much for being effective on tonight's message. Big shout out to the family. Let me get back here to the comments. Brown Coat Blue in the building. I see you there. He says he's an avid African traveler. He says, do that homework. Okay, don't come over here, wet behind the ears. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's some things you're just never going to know about the continent until you actually physically get here. Okay, but don't be getting on the plane saying, oh my God, what language do they speak over there? What's the capital city? What's popular food dishes? Please don't do that. Get yourself ready before you come. Some things can be answered with a simple Google search. Okay, what's the capital of Nigeria? What's the capital of Kenya? Okay, what's the temperature going to be like this time of year? These kind of things. What's the national language? What's the name of the president? What are the prevailing religions in the area? This kind of stuff. Please familiarize yourself. Give yourself the advantage to win. Okay, to win. Tired of losing, tired of being victims, tired of being at the bottom of the totem pole. Now you can maybe escalate your life, make things better, have a better quality of life. Utilize it if you're for real. Utilize the opportunity if you are for real. Okay? It's going to be obvious. If you come over here and you can't make something happen, it's going to be obvious that maybe the white man wasn't really holding you back. Maybe it was really you. You decide to move to a country and you don't do any research about where you're going. That's not a pro tip. That's not a smart move, guys. I got to call you out. My audience is 30 years of age and above. So it's really unacceptable. I know it's been a minute, but see, back in my days, we used to have to do research papers. Anybody my generation, we had to do research papers. We used to have to do a bibliography, okay? We used to have to go get sources and we would have to annotate, okay, I got this from the newspaper. I got this from the encyclopedia. I got this from, you would have to combine sources and get some resources and do your paper about it. Okay, there was reasons we learned some of this stuff in school to help us know how to, strategize our lives. And it pains me to see a lot of my peers just losing in life. So confused and, dysfunctional. It's not our fault that we were in a particular environment and some of this stuff happened to us. But it is our fault if we continue to perpetuate it and if we remain ignorant and we don't devise some strategies as to win. That is our own fault. Okay, if I would have come here and fall flat on my face here in Ghana, it would have been my own fault. Oh, and trust me, the social media world would have loved it and had a heyday. Yes, they would have. But I ensured, oh no, no. Gina's not a laughing stock. No, Gina's a winner. All right. Which means Gina got to win. Gina can't win just one time. She needs to win perpetually through life. That was my own personal decision. And that's why I'm going to keep winning, guys. And you got to have that same mentality that, okay, when I come here to the continent, I may be ignorant. I may not know what's happening and all that stuff, but I'm going to do my best to get plugged in and be successful and bring some results. Everybody back there that said I couldn't make it back there in America, UK, wherever you're coming, Canada, Europe, Australia, all those people that's like, oh my God, you're crazy. You're never going to make it. What are you going to do in Africa? You're going to be back in. No, you got a point to prove. Huh? All the people that never wanted the diaspora to come back and reconnect to the continent. All them. Deliberately withholding information. Don't you know these Europeans and Americans been coming over here for decades, enjoying the continent, building homes, starting businesses, coming for holidays while they discouraged us from coming, while they painted, a negative image. They've been all down here getting paid and enriching their lives. Aren't you guys pissed about being cut out of the equation? Hello. Don't you feel like, nah, I'm getting my piece of the pie? Because I do. That's my attitude. I'm like, nah, you people, if anybody enjoy this continent, it should be Black and African people, period. We should be the ones enjoying this continent the most. Members of the diaspora that have had their families shuffled around, can't even trace their family lines, been living struggle life, been living in poverty and everything else. They should have that attitude of, oh no, I should win on the continent. I'm going to win on the continent. I'm going to overcome these obstacles. Big shout outs to the family. All right, Bronco Blue, you have me going. Let's see here. Multi-generational mulatto is trying to redirect you guys to Latin America, the Caribbean. You can do that if you want, but the continent is the future. I mean, it's a definitive fact. You're going to have a lot less opportunities in the Caribbean. I know my mother's from Bermuda. Islands have limited industry and often the cost of living is astronomical. But if you got it like that, I mean, the Caribbean's a beautiful place. Just be mindful. All them islands, hurricane season, you got to have bread if you want to go to the Caribbean. I can't speak in depth on Latin America. Never traveled there. I have heard there's a lot of racial kind of things happening there. But it might be your cup of tea, whatever. On this platform, we promote the continent. That's it. Sorry. You know what I mean? I feel like going to Latin America, you are going to deal with a lot of similar challenges as being in America. They just speak a different language. There's a lot of racial things happening there and a lot of segregation. Not to mention many of the Black people there, they are also estranged from their Blackness. A lot of colorism goes on in the Latin world. We've seen this multiple times with Dominicans and Puerto Ricans that are dark as my shirt talking about, I'm white, I'm not Black. So obviously the delusion is high in those environments. So I don't know, but I'm just going to promote the continent because that's what I know. Yeah, that's what I know. And that's what's working for me. And that's what I would run back and tell my peers. Hey guys, explore this option. It may work for you. I've had a lot of success. Big shout outs to the family. Yes. The Cremature says, my future presence on the continent is for one reason and one reason only, to liberate and unite, I guess you want to say unify Africa. Well, I hope it's working out for you, homie. I'm glad you found success in Latin America. Good luck. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is essential. Working together. That's what this whole message is about, basically. I know I've gone on a couple tangents, but yes, at the end of the day, integration here on the continent, it's a win-win-win-win-win for everybody involved. It can be very eye-opening for many continentals. I know the relationships I have with several continentals, both males and females, they tell me that I've taught them a lot of things. I've exposed them to a lot of things. There's someone in my neighborhood, I meet with them a few nights a week, and, they ask me questions. I teach them things. Some of you guys may or may not know, they do not do daylight savings here in Africa. And we had kind of got on to the conversation, and I was educating this person about daylight savings. I taught them about lynching. I showed them what subway trains look like. I've taught them many things, and that's just purely out of conversations, and it's exposure. And it's the reason that we have been kind of discouraged from collaborating with each other, is because when we start having that conversation with them and they start giving us their side of the conversation, we're like, oh my gosh, oh wow, okay. I listen to a lot of high life music. Shout outs to all my Ghana folk in the building. Yes. I listen to a lot of high life music, and there's some of these songs, I love them. I love the melody and I love the artist, but I don't know all the lyrics or understand all the lyrics. So there was one particular song that I really, really love, and I was singing it and everything. And this young man came up to me and said, oh, do you know what this song means? And I said, oh, I understand a few of the words, which I told him I understood some of them. He said, yeah, you're right with that. But this is what some of the other words meant. And it was really, it was kind of like a little emotional for me, because the song was talking about a person who doesn't have any family. And this person is making their way in their new home. And they know that, it's basically like do or die. And I just found it so, prolific, that I had loved this song for many years without fully understanding it. But it was something, and that's even how the person said, wow, you love this song, and this is kind of like your story a little bit, like, you're here in Africa and you're finding your way. And it was really prolific, but it was very symbolic, about sometimes you'll see innate kind of things in our people. Our people are expressive. Our people are creative. Our people are very colorful. Our people are beautiful. Our people are lively. Our people, jubilate, dance, and sing. That is something that our people do worldwide, wherever they are. And when you come to the continent, you see the connection. You see how it's all relative, and it's very fascinating. Like, it's very fascinating. And you realize, wow, nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with me. This is normal from where my people come from. And even though maybe you've been far removed from the continent, when you come and see those similarities, it's just like, oh, I can't deny, the connection, between me and the continent and our people. So big shout outs. Yes. Okay. Let me wrap up. Big shout outs. What's up, guys? Aphrodisiac Villas and Spas. I see you there, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. He says, honestly, some are lazy and lack research ability. I know, Lord have mercy. Our people need a lot of help. So I'm here. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm doing my best. Brown Coat Blue, for any of you guys that are interested in learning tree, he says there's a YouTube channel called Learn Akan, and it's pretty good. So any of you guys interested in Ghana, any of you guys coming to my tour, hello, in March, yes. Maybe you want to learn a couple of tree, it would be nice. Greet me in tree. All right. When you guys come for my tour, just when you come, you can greet me in tree at the same, all of that. Akwaba. Akwaba means welcome. You know, all that. You can learn some basics before you get here in March. So go to the Learn Akan channel and pick it up. Nia Musa is an Indian professor in Ghana told me that he knows Ghana more than I do. He was proud about it. The point is, Black people should be part of the country. They will gain tremendously. Yes. Big shots. Yes. Thank you, Eric. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for the greetings. What's up, Kim? What's up? What's up? What's up? I don't know what the hell this is about. Let's see here. Moderators, please do your job. Be on the job. Kim says, if you don't know the basics, just don't go. You're not ready. You know, and honestly, you know, making such a long trip and things like that, you know, you need to have your things in order. I understand that this generation is not good in planning and like being proactive, but don't go when you're not, and obviously, don't get me wrong. There's never going to be a time where everything's 100%. No, you know, maybe if it's about between 75 to 80, you're probably ready to rock. Okay. But if you're at like 35, 40, nah, you're getting the gut feeling. I'm rushing things. I'm not really fully prepared. Well, I need to get your ducks in a row and do things well so that you'll have the success. You know, like I said, I want you guys to win. I want you guys to win. Big shout outs. Brown Coat Blue says King Charles is on a vacation in Kenya as we speak. What's up, Ghetto Flower? Big shout outs. What's up, Michael? Yes, so what? Let me see here. On the Go says African heritage people from the U.S. who call themselves African Americans should be accepted back, not Blacks or Black Americans. Whatever. Okay. The people that are segmenting themselves, you know, this is the irony. When we get in these settings, you know, we're the ones that segment ourselves. Okay. I would want to deduce that the vast majority of people that go through the motions to come here to the continent, you know, have some interest and have some love. If that's the case, if you come and you're living peacefully and you're doing your thing, then you do your thing. Who are we to say who should and shouldn't? You know, it's nonsense. Oh, well, we don't want the Caribbeans here, and oh, we don't want this. I've always thought that was absolutely absurd. And actually, if you're a Pan-African and you're pro-Black, why are you segmenting your people more? Oh, well, they're from the Caribbean. Well, you're not really Black. Well, you know, you're British, and you know, you're Ghanaian. No, you're Nigerian. And this, I mean, it's just absolute nonsense. Meanwhile, we all get in proximity of each other. Guess what the whole world sees? Guess what the whole world sees? Matter of fact, when you come here and you're living in an African country and you were to be grouped with everybody, they would just call you a Ghanaian or an African, Nigerian. Okay? All that subsecting and all that, that's something that we do. You know, they started it, but we perpetuate it. We keep on going with the divisions that they have created. You know, and so I'm not going to, you know, back this up. I don't think that is valid. I mean, if you come here and you have good pretenses and you don't cause problems, cause drama, then I mean, the African mentality is very welcoming anyway. Fortunately for us. Thank God for that. You know, that no Ghanaian has ever said to me, oh, you know, you're a Black American, you don't belong here and all this. You know, I'm friendly. They're friendly to me. I've made this my home. And it's cool. I like the fact that the gate is open to Black people. So no, I'm not going to say that we need to do any further of that. Big shout outs. What's up, family? All right, guys. Well, this was a kind of a little long episode, but yes, The moral of the story is, yes, integration is going to be a huge advantage for you. You know, I know for some of you, it's like a foreign world, and maybe it's a bit uncomfortable for you, just feeling like, you know, you're ignorant, you don't know a lot. But what I can say in terms of encouraging you is that you don't have to remain ignorant. You know, you don't have to remain ignorant. Okay, you can empower yourself and you can, you know, learn more. And that's what you should do, you know? And if you have that attitude, you'll be surprised. And in no time, you will feel so much more comfortable with your environment because you know more and you have acclimated yourself there. So a big shout out to the one and only African Superstar family. Special shout outs to my super chat donors, the only two in the room. I love y'all, man. Thank you so much for the tangible support for the African Superstar. My hat is off to you. And I hope you got something from this. If you're not subscribed to our family, then please do. You know, obviously, like I said, I just want to kind of provide a bit of a resource for you guys, some encouragement for you guys, some tangible solutions-oriented content about, you know, your transition here on the continent. So, because it's not good enough that I win and I win alone. You know, I'm not that type of person. You know, there's so much out here for all of us to eat and benefit. And I personally feel that members of the diaspora, you know, again, we've been living that mediocre, you know, low quality, you know, and listen, okay, I didn't grow up in the hood. I'm not from the poverty. Okay, I lived, you know, but even still, on my level, I still felt like it wasn't up to par because of the racism piece. I was just like, I should not be subjected to this. It's just wrong, you know? And I was not happy with that. So I want more of us to, you know, live better quality lives, you know? All right, family. Let me go ahead and wrap up. Much love to the African Superstar family. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true. Don't forget, I have a tour coming up in March. You want to come to Ghana? That's a great opportunity to come. You can check out the full itinerary and booking. You can get your, what's the name? Your deposit popping at tayaahuru.com. That is my tour partner. We've done several episodes here. I think we'll get back on it this weekend with another live stream together. But yes, you can get all the details of our upcoming tour first week of March. So make sure you get your booking in. I can't wait to see some of you guys. Going to get a welcome concert from me. It's going to be lit, yes, as well as touring Kumasi and Cape Coast on the tour. Okay, family? Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.